Hello YouTube, this is Let's Talk Horror and welcome back to another video. Okay guys, so today I'm finishing out my Terror Train review series with Terror Train 2, which also came out in 2022. They shot the reboot and its sequel in pretty much the same time, I believe in April of 2022, and they released the Terror Train reboot in October, which is why it is a Halloween slasher movie, and then they released Terror Train 2 in December, which is why it's like a New Year's Eve slasher movie. So I think I said that in my last review, but a good refresher there. Okay, so let's jump right into the synopsis and get into what I liked and I didn't like about Terror Train 2. Okay, so here is the synopsis for Terror Train 2. A year has passed since a series of gruesome murders took the lives of multiple college seniors aboard the now infamous Terror Train. Alana is coerced to join the magician and other survivors on a New Year's Eve redemption ride aboard the very same train where a new kind of evil awaits. Once again, the terrified passengers must fight to survive. And that is your Terror Train 2 synopsis. Okay, so what did I like about this? Well, let's jump right in. Well, first of all, guys, what I liked is at least it's something different. It's something original. It's not just a carbon copy of another movie. That's what my main complaint about the Terror Train reboot from 2022 is that it was almost a shot-for-shot remake of the 1980 original Terror Train. This one, they were kind of forced into doing something new and taking the story in its own direction because they didn't have the benefit of a sequel to go off of, because Terror Train 1980 never got a sequel. So they were kind of forced into it, but they did it, and I'll give them credit for that. And because of that alone, I think I would watch Terror Train 2 over Terror Train 2022, the reboot, because I feel like I'm watching something different. I'm watching the story go in a different direction. Once again, the production value, I think it was pretty good for a Tubi original. It's not a bad movie to look at all. The production value is fairly good. The movie, all in all, is competently directed. I have to imagine they had a budget of a salami sandwich, but for what it's given, it's production value is still pretty good. I did enjoy some of the directions they took the characters. Alana getting over her trauma. I like Alana as a character in both of these movies, but in this one, facing her fear, getting over her trauma. There's a lot of social commentary in here, and I know some people are going to cringe at that, but I personally liked it, of like the social commentary on social media and stuff like that, and how, some people use tragedy or being a part of a tragedy to really elevate themselves, elevate their brand, build a brand. We've seen that for a long time, whether it's through a book or, I guess, in a more modern sense, through social media, like this movie explores. So I didn't mind that. I didn't mind that, actually. I thought that was interesting. And it's something I actually wanted to see Terror Train from 2022, the reboot from 2022 do. I wanted them to update their message. I wanted them to explore things like illusion through the lens of social media, and this one kind of did that, so I enjoyed that. Well, the negatives. Well, first of all, what stood out to me, the gore is terrible, guys. The gore is absolutely terrible. The first kill of this movie, a guy gets stabbed in the neck. There is no blood. Get stabbed in the neck with a kitchen knife. There is no blood whatsoever, or very little blood. Almost no blood. And then the second kill of the movie is like this girl getting chopped in half with an axe. Again, when it's happening, there's no blood, there's no gore whatsoever. I think we see the aftermath of it later, if I'm not mistaken, and there is some gore, but when it's happening, there's very little, if any, gore. And then later, as we get deeper into the movie, there is more gore, but a lot of it is digital. You can really tell, man. You could really tell they were strapped for cash, because the gore in this movie does not look good at certain points, or in some cases is almost non-existent. These writers and the people behind this movie really struggled to create a compelling whodunit. I thought the I thought the reveal in the reboot was incredibly predictable, even though it was the one switch up they tried to do from the 1980 original that I actually liked. I thought it was incredibly predictable. And the whodunit here is incredibly easy to guess. You have Claudia, who is obsessed with Ilana and trying to get her on this train and is consistently lying and consistently trying to isolate her from other people. You have Pet, who's pretty much the person who's used her minimal role in the events of Terror Train 2022 to build a social media brand and really capitalizing off the tragedy. And then you have Xander, who every scene they're in is just, they barely have a character. It's the new security guard. And every scene they're in, they're like, eerie and shady as fuck. So I kind of knew from the beginning it's going to be one of those three, and boom, it was. Now, they do try to pull a fake out, which I kind of saw coming from a mile away. But yeah, the whodunit is not well done. My third negative is this. Remember when Carney opened her eyes at the end of Terror Train 2022 and they established that she lives? Outside of a couple of passing references to that, they never found her body, serves no purpose whatsoever. That didn't need to be a part of the original Terror Train. Carney living served no purpose. She never appears in any way. She's only passingly referenced. Like there's like a mural to her and it's kind of implied she got eaten by wolves or whatever. I don't know. But yeah, served no purpose. She doesn't appear. She has very little impact on the story. So it was worthless. So it makes that that eye-opening ending from Terror Train 2022 a little bit worse to me. The dialogue is very cringy at points. Watch the movie, you'll see what I mean. And so, yeah, guys, that's pretty much all I have to say. This movie is, all in all, it's fine. It's fine. There are things I like about it. And if you enjoyed the first two Terror Trains, you're probably gonna enjoy this one somewhat. If you enjoyed the Terror Train reboot, you're probably gonna enjoy this one somewhat. And obviously, if you didn't, you're probably not. But I thought Ilana was a good main character. As I said, I did enjoy some of the social commentary on like social media and stuff like that. And actually having to take the story in a new direction was interesting. There's a lot of flaws that hold it back for me, so it's fine. Guys, it's a fine modern day slasher movie, I guess. It shouldn't anger you. It's not like horrible, but it's not great. And honestly, just taking it in a new direction, I would probably put this one above Terror Train 2022 because they had to take it in a new direction. But I guess we'll see when my ranking video comes out at some point. But that's going to do it for me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you enjoyed this Terror Train review series, and I will see you guys later. Okay, take care.